Alright, so normally you catch me gaming. I wanted to take a break from gaming for a second to do some diet and health nutrition stuff, which this is not the norm for me. Sorry, you guys see this screen over here? I'm doing something over here. Give me just a second. That's interesting. Whatever. Okay. Now. Alright, so I've got this article up here. So this website here is Carnivore Snacks. I've never bought any of their products. I do not endorse them. They're not endorsing me. They do have some interesting products on here. And you can see right there, Carnivore Snacks, ham, only 2 ingredients, pork and salt. You know, it's a pretty clean ingredient list there. But this article is how to start the carnivore diet. Tips for starting the carnivore diet on the right foot. So, me and my wife both do carnivore. I've been on it for about 9 months now. She's been on it about 7-8 months. We've both lost over 30 pounds this year, and we did it with our busy lives. We have kids, we got work, you know, getting to the gym can be rough sometimes. However, what nobody really talks about is getting in shape. Imagine it like a coin. There's 2 sides to the coin. There's diet and there's exercise. And if you ignore either side of that coin, you're not going to do well. However, one side of the coin is much more important than the other side, and we'll get into that. But you can, you know, especially if you're a large, very out of shape person, you can lose a tremendous amount of weight doing the carnivore diet sitting on the couch. I'm talking 60 to 100 pounds depending on how big you are. Because you're really not putting any sugars or carbohydrates down, so it doesn't matter how much you eat. Anyways, so let's get into this. They have a brief introduction. What is allowed? So you'll see some people do carnivore with avocados, right? Or with random other things. That's not carnivore. Okay. Carnivore is strictly animals and animal products. So basically, if it comes from an animal, you can eat it. Of course, there's a list, but nobody needs a list. It really is that simple. You're either eating the animal itself or you're eating a product of the animal. Now, some people will make the argument that honey is a product of an animal and therefore it's allowed. No, it's not. It's a product of an insect. Well, I guess insects are animals. Anyways, it's a product of an insect and it is loaded with sugar. You don't want to eat that stuff when you're trying to lose weight. So then they got a list of what is not allowed. Okay, this is also wrong. It says, as the carnivore diet is restricted to meat products as a zero-processed, low-carb diet, quite a few foods are not accepted on this diet. These include processed meats like deli meats, hot dogs, sausage links. No, that is wrong. Those are animal products, and they are allowed on the diet. And don't get me wrong, there's different versions of the diet. But I brought these in here just to show you guys. This is chunk light tuna here. I eat this stuff quite regularly. The ingredients are tuna, water, vegetable broth, and salt. Technically the vegetable broth is not allowed on the diet, but hey, you gotta have something to go to. Alright, so this is an ultra processed meat here. The old classic Vienna sausage, right? These are things that I have. That camera's having trouble focusing. These are things that I have in my house that I consume. They are absolutely allowed on the carnivore diet. But listen to this ingredients list. It's horrible. Mechanically separated chicken, water, salt, corn syrup, right, which is not allowed on the diet. Contains 2% or less of beef, pork, Vienna spice blend, sodium nitrate, caramel color, and chicken broth. Okay. Then on the cleaner end of the spectrum, we got Northern Catch, sardines, and hot sauce. Technically, per the diet, hot sauce is not allowed, but you can see I have them. Oh, that glare is pretty bad. You can see I have them in my house. Ingredients: sardines, water, salt, paprika, spice extracts, caramel color, and polysorbate, whatever that is. Anyways, so there are a few ingredients on these that aren't allowed per the diet. It's not going to kill you, right? Some people, I guess, call that dirty carnivore, where you include some spices or a little bit of spice. The reason why I bring this up, and this article goes over this, if you were to just eat steaks every meal, it gets expensive, guys. And then, so they're telling you in this article that processed meats are not allowed, but in the same in the same subject, they say a personal choice is the uses of condiments, spices, and seasonings. That's okay. Like I said, we call it dirty carnivore when somebody uses spices or seasonings. Spices and seasonings are okay. Condiments, not so much, unless it's like mayonnaise, and I mean real mayonnaise, not mayonnaise made out of plant stuff. So everybody's take on this is different, but I've been on the diet for almost a year, and I use the highly processed stuff because it's cheap and it's readily available. And if I keep these things in my truck, these Vienna sausages, and the reason why I do that is if I get a craving for something else that's not allowed on the diet, if I pop one of these open, and they're mobile, right? They don't have to be refrigerated. That's the main thing. I can pop one of those open, have me some processed meats, and I'm good. Okay. So is starting carnivore right for you? And the reason why I'm digesting this article, guys, is because there's a lot of really good information in this article, and then there's some absurdly bad information. Obviously, these people are trying to make money off the diet. I'm not trying to make money off the diet. I'm trying to keep or help you guys get healthy and keep healthy. So let's see what they say. Before starting carnivore diet, it's essential to contemplate whether it's right for you. For example, it needs to align with your goals, helping you reach them rather than hindering that process. I agree with all of that that's been stated. Like how the carnivore diet for women can benefit weight loss, increase energy, and improve cardiovascular health. The carnivore diet could be right for you if applied toward the appropriate goal. See if the carnivore diet is right for you below. Then they have these goals. Okay, so I'm just going to be honest and I'm going to level with you guys. You have to have a why. This diet is simple, but it's not easy. And some people find it very restrictive, right? But like I said, I wasn't in bad shape, and I've lost 30 pounds of pure body fat this year. I'm down to like fucking 4% body fat, so this really works. But you have to have a why. And I didn't start this diet for weight loss. Like I said, I was already in pretty good shape. I started this diet because of gout. Gout is a miserable form of arthritis that I have. And women who have gout that have given childbirth, say that gout is more intense and worse pain than childbirth. We'll leave it at that. So that's why I started this diet. This diet, like 85% of people with gout, it cures them. And it cured me. I haven't had a gout flare up in 9 months, and I'm so pleased with that. I didn't know that there was these whole host of other benefits that come along with the carnivore diet. And I just kind of experienced them one at a time as, the longer I was on the diet. But that's why you have to have a why. Like I said, this diet is simple, but it is not easy. However you get used to it. And I technically am not a carnivore anymore, and we'll get into that later. It says, are you prepared to commit to major lifestyle changes? Alright, look guys. When we're talking about our health, like for me, gout, or people who are obese, or God forbid, let's say you got type 2 diabetes. If changing your diet upends your world, you're living wrong already. You shouldn't, your life should not revolve around food. Food is fuel. You should just consume things just to fuel your body. That's it. Dude, if changing your diet makes you miserable, you're not going about life the right way anyways. Now, I've done a whole bunch of diets. I've done vegetarian, I've done straight up vegan, I've done keto, and now I'm doing carnivore. I can tell you any diet done in the right way is always going to work, but you have to know what to limit and why to limit it. But this diet is extremely restrictive, so you got to have a good why. For me, it was gout. For my wife, it's weight loss. My wife looks like a completely different person, and I'm so happy for her. So commit to a major lifestyle change. That's what's bothering me. It's not a major lifestyle change. You're still eating. It's not like you're starving yourself. And I have yet to go to a restaurant. We don't eat out much as it is, but I've yet to go to a restaurant where I felt like I was restricted or there wasn't something on the menu for me. Heck, the best places to go when you're on carnivore diet is like Golden Corral, because they got the grill there, and you can just, I mean, if they're serving steaks, you can just eat steaks the whole dang meal. I've done that, and you get to tell them to cook it how you like it, right? So it really is not a major lifestyle change, guys. It's not that big a deal. So this is the meat and potatoes of the article, and this is what I wanted to go over. How to start. So the first major point they have here is, first, educate yourself further on the carnivore diet. What I recommend is watching a few YouTube videos and just learning the basics. Don't dive into the diet yet if you're going to do this. Just get on YouTube. And we'll go through some of this other stuff that you need to know beforehand. But yeah, just get on YouTube, look at people's transformations. That was the major seller for me. Like I said, I started this for a disease, not for fitness and weight loss. So I watched the videos from those people who had the same issues as me, the same health issues, and they got me on the right foot immediately. I watched 5 or 6 videos, and then I watched a guy's video on like how to start, which is what we're going to get into here, and then I was off to the races. And I learned some things the hard way, and we'll talk about those. Okay, get rid of plant-based foods and bring in high-quality animal foods. Now, this is not possible for everybody. Okay, me and my wife have children, and we couldn't just throw all the vegetables out and all the other stuff. Kids, they can do this diet, but they're not. You really shouldn't restrict what kids eat. I'll leave it at that. My kids eat fruits, vegetables, they eat carbohydrates, they're growing, they need all that stuff. So this is not a necessary step. If you happen to be single or you have a partner that's willing to do this with you, then absolutely. If it's going to be a problem, then get these things out of your house. Myself and my wife, we don't have problems with self-control. So we just skip this step. I have bananas and oranges and I have lemons in my water right now, which is technically not carnivore, but I'm technically not a carnivore anymore. But I can show you how to do this. Okay, determine how much you need to eat daily and come up with a meal plan. So you're not going to know right out the gate how much you need daily. I've seen people out there say that you need 1 gram of protein per day for your desired body weight, not your current body weight. I don't track what I eat. And once you start the diet, you'll understand, like, hunger goes away. Hunger is not a feeling that you feel anymore, or it takes a long time to come about. When I first started the diet, the first thing I ate was a steak. and I ate it for dinner. I fasted the whole day. Woke up, didn't eat breakfast, didn't break my fast from sleeping that night. I didn't eat lunch. I went to the gym right after work, and then I came home, I took a shower, and I made a bomb-ass steak, and I destroyed that motherfucker, and it was a big one. I didn't get hungry again, guys, till the follow-on evening the next day. And then I just did it again. I had another steak, and that was probably the first 2 or 3 months for me on the diet. One meal a day, usually steak or chicken or pork. That was my first 3 months, my first 90 days, and the weight loss was really rapid during this phase, because you get into deep ketosis, because you're not putting sugars and carbohydrates in your body. And, protein just digests a lot slower, so when you eat these things, you're satiated for much longer. Your body doesn't produce ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone, because it feels like it has everything it needs. My wife one time, she looked at me and she was like, "Babe, I haven't eaten in like 2 days and I'm not hungry." That's normal on this diet, and that's kind of the driver. That's kind of how it works. You're just never hungry. But nowadays, because my body weight is so low and my body fat is so low, I eat 4 or 5 meals a day now, because I need it. If I don't eat it, like, I'm gonna dry up and blow away. So you can't determine before you start the diet how much you need to eat daily. And I do not recommend counting calories. I don't recommend counting or paying attention to anything. If you're going to do this, I just want you to eat when you're hungry and don't eat when you're not hungry. It's that simple. It's a simple concept. Alright, now this one is important. Stay hydrated and pay attention to electrolytes. Now, this is why I said I'm technically not doing carnivore anymore. I have lemon in my water here because I've run out. We live very rurally. We got to drive 45 minutes to an hour to make it to a store. And I've run out of my daily multivitamins. So there's a couple of micronutrients that you absolutely have to pay attention to on this diet. And they're magnesium, potassium, and vitamin D. Do not sleep on these 3. The reason why is meat is very low in these, and these are very important, one for your hydration, but also for your heart. And I learned this the hard way. I was telling you about my first 90 days being mostly, steak and chicken and just dinner. About halfway through the 3rd month, I was worried, guys. Like, my blood pressure skyrocketed and my heart rate was just insane. I could hear my pulse in the back of my head, and it was because I was very, very low on potassium. And I'm still struggling with it. Normally I take a daily vitamin, and I take a potassium supplement on top of that, and I take a magnesium supplement on top of that, because that daily vitamin just doesn't give me enough. And everybody's body, the needs for these 3 are different and very individual. Now, technically, vitamin D is not a vitamin. Technically, it's a hormone. So if you're getting plenty of sunlight, like, we're going into fall up here in Nebraska. It's going to start snowing here soon. During the winter, I have to be very heavy in my vitamin D supplementation because I don't get enough sunlight. Now, if you watch these other streamers or YouTubers, they're going to go tell you to go buy expensive LMNT. It's a powder packet that you mix with your water, and it gives you all these things, but it's crazy expensive, guys. You don't have to go out there and spend a load of money. I have money, but the only reason I have money is because I don't spend it. I'm very frugal in my day-to-day, going about things. I like to make money, but I like to hold on to it. So I do things as cheap as I possibly can. Don't get me wrong, I still go buy steaks. Alright, give your body time to adjust changes. Yeah. Now, I don't know. Yeah, they go into it a little bit, and they're not listing the bad ones. Okay, so if you do this just like with the keto diet or maybe the Atkins diet, right? You're gonna get into ketosis. It's gonna happen. It depends on your body size, right? But for me, it happened within the first 48 hours. It had been so long. The last time I had been in ketosis, I was like 24 or 25 years old, doing it on a vegan diet, right? Um, that's tough. Okay, doing a vegan diet is real tough because you just stay hungry and you have to eat all this plant matter. And anyways, so yes, you're gonna get the keto flu, and that can look like a lot of things. They list a couple of them here. Fatigue is definitely one. You're gonna be tired. Headaches, that was the most severe one for me. My brain was so used to running off of glucose. Well, I mean, it runs off of glucose always, but it was so used to running off of blood sugar that when I got into ketosis, I had this miserable headache for like 4 hours. And it happened on 2 separate days. Listen, guys, just pop you an ibuprofen or a Motrin and power through it, because the benefits on the other side of this are totally worth it, right? Yeah, you'll be a little uncomfortable here and there, but it all occurs within the first few days. Digestive discomfort. I didn't have this one, but there is one thing I'm going to warn you guys about. If you do not have a healthy gallbladder, or you got your gallbladder removed, you're going to experience some pretty severe diarrhea on this, because the gallbladder produces the enzyme which breaks down animal fat. And if your gallbladder health is not good, instead of that oil, that fat getting broke down, it just goes right through you. Another thing for people on this diet is constipation. It is much rarer than diarrhea and typically indicates some other underlying health problem. But there is something I want to address here. If you eat just meat or eggs, there's much less waste produced. Your body absorbs the vast majority of it. So don't mistake not needing to go to the bathroom just because you haven't went number 2 in a week doesn't mean you're constipated. Constipation is the need to go, the urge. You can feel it down there, but you're just clogged up. They're two totally different things. So I'm more of an ovivore now, which means I eat primarily eggs instead of meat. Your body, when you eat an egg, it absorbs like 95% of it. So sometimes I'll go 2 weeks without going to the bathroom. But they got a point here. Give your body time to adjust to these changes. It's gonna make you uncomfortable. And I do not recommend easing in. Some folks will be like, yeah, just ease your way into it, slowly bring down your vegetables and your fruits and slowly increase your meat. That draws the pain out, guys, and you're not gonna avoid keto flu. It just drags it out. I recommend doing it cold turkey and getting it over with in 2 or 3 days instead of making yourself miserable for 2 weeks. That's what coming in slow does. I had a friend that came in slow and he was miserable for quite some time. Okay, and I talked about this. Keep qualified snacks on hand for when cravings strike. Told you guys, I carry these little Vienna sausages with me everywhere I go. That way if I see somebody eating a bag of my favorite potato chips and I get a craving flung on me, it's right here, it's available. I can just pop it open, no problem. Doesn't require refrigeration. I highly recommend, and that's why we're on this website. This website's called Carnivore Snacks, I think. Let's go back up. Yeah, Carnivore Snacks. Like I said, I've never bought any of their products. I don't endorse them, and they don't endorse me. But I was interested. They put this article out. Like I said, there's some really good information here, and then there's some really bad information. But yeah, keep those snacks on hand, guys. Alright, realize that your diet may affect your social life to some degree. Okay, this is any diet, guys. Like I said, I've tried a lot of diets. You just have to make it clear to whoever you socialize with that you're on a diet and you're doing it for your health. Okay? Just because I'm eating a vegan diet and you're eating a carnivore diet doesn't mean we can't go have a meal together, as long as we're not judging each other, right? I've never had my diet affect my social life, ever, and I don't understand this. A little bit with the family, my in-laws, my wife's family, they live a street over, and we share meals quite frequently. And it took them at least 2 weeks to get used to the fact that we only eat carnivore meals. And now they like, if they're gonna make a dish, let's say I don't know, like lasagna, right? And we're all gonna sit down and share a meal, they will reserve some of that meat before they assemble the dish. For me and my wife, is it an extra step for them? Absolutely, but it really doesn't affect my social life at all. Nobody looks at me weird when I go to a restaurant and order a steak or eggs or steak and eggs, right? Even if it's not on the menu, I'll be like, hey, I want steak and eggs, and they make it happen. Nobody stares at you, you know what I mean? Get any nutrients and minerals you're missing through supplements. So I agree with this 100%, and look, they even listed the ones I did. Vitamin A, vitamin D, magnesium, and omega-3. What they're lacking, potassium, guys. You can get it from meat, but it's only in small quantities, and you need it for heart health. If you don't have enough potassium in your body, you will have AFib, or something bad's going to happen to your heart. You have to have that potassium. Like I said, I usually get these from supplements, but I ran out of my multivitamin, and that's why I have lemon water here, because the truck's in the shop and we can't go to town right now. Okay, try new meals or preparation methods to keep things fresh. Yes. So, what's not great about eating steak all the time, right? I'm joking. It does get miserable eating the same things over and over again. What I tell people to do is not sleep on the soups. Like, you can go to a grocery store and you can get a whole chicken for $5. You take that bad boy and you throw it in like a crock pot, or you can do it in a pot on your stove. And you just boil it till the meat falls off the bones, and then you pull the bones out of there. It makes its own broth, and you have chicken soup. If you happen to be one of the people that it aligns with your goals that you can have seasonings, season that puppy up with some salt and pepper and, Italian herbs if you need to. There's a lot of great recipes, carnivore recipes, that are starting to come to a head because a lot of people are doing this diet and seeing great success. So yeah, I eat a lot of different stuff, even though it's all mostly meat and eggs. That does include soups, and stuff that's just a bit different, helps break the diet up. Okay, and we were talking about this earlier. It says be aware of the cost of carnivore. That's why I got so mad when they said don't go after the highly processed stuff. There are cheap things that you can buy, guys, like tuna, like sardines, and even some processed meats. Like, this is like $1 maybe. But there's some other things that I recommend, and they mention in this article buying in bulk, but I'm going to take it a step further. Get to know your local butcher, right? If you get to know your local butcher, you can get products from him that other people can't, or her, maybe a her. I've gotten a lot of stuff. We don't have a local butcher here. We go to a family. They own their own cow farm, and we just get cuts of the cow that way. But when we lived in Louisiana, I just had a good working relationship with my butcher, and he knew that there were certain cuts that he couldn't sell to other people that he could sell to me. And he just wanted to get rid of them, so I got them super cheap. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Seven Steak, but it's a much tougher cut of the cow, kind of like brisket. That's the reason why people cook brisket for so many hours, is because if you just eat the meat, it is really tough. And so anyways, I'd just buy the the less desired cuts of the cow, and I would get most people are paying $6, $7 a pound for ground meat. I was getting legit hand cut steaks for like $2 to $3 a pound just because I had a good working relationship with the butcher. Okay, so final thoughts on how to start. Yeah, of course. So they start pushing their products. Yep. Okay. Well, this article had a lot of good stuff in it. I wanted to point out the bad. But here's been my experience with Carnivore. I've been on Carnivore 9 months. I've lost 34 pounds. But like I said at the beginning of this, I didn't start Carnivore to lose weight. I started it to cure a disease. The weight loss just happened. So that being said, you got to have a good why. There's no reason to start something unless you have a good reason to, and that reason's what helps carry you through. So yeah, my why was gout, and I need to keep eating this way to keep that miserable disease away. And then the first week is going to be rough. Keep those pain pills for the headaches handy, and drink a lot of water, and make sure you're taking that multivitamin and maybe some potassium and magnesium on top of that. And it should be an easy day. Well, there again, it's not easy. Simple, but not easy. Let's see, is there anything else? Oh, yeah, I wanted to talk about the two sides of the coin there. Okay, if you eat like crap and you work out every single day, you're not going to lose weight. You may put on some muscle, but you're not going to lose weight, and you're still going to look and feel miserable. Diet, on the other side of the coin, is the most important factor for your health overall, but also weight loss. And if you happen to be a larger person, so I've never been this big, but let's say I was 350 pounds, where working out is just miserable because I'm so heavy, right? If you do a diet like this and you do it properly, you could lose 150 pounds sitting on the couch watching TV. That is no joke. If you're in ketosis, your body's just going to naturally kind of be in a caloric deficit, even though it's not. And you're going to lose the weight. Like I said, my wife, she's lost almost 40 pounds, and she doesn't have time to work out. We're both full-time parents, right? On top of that, she goes to school, and on top of that, she works. So she really doesn't have time to exercise. Not to mention the nearest gym is a good 35-40 minute ride from here. It's just super inconvenient. She's lost 40 pounds this year just by doing this diet, and she's only done this diet about 7 months. So when it comes to getting in shape and living healthy, the diet side of the coin is way more important than the exercise. However, heart health is a thing, and being active, it's important to your health too. If you can get it in, get it in. Like I do my best to walk, not run, walk 5 miles every day. And I didn't do that in the beginning. I started that around month 4 or 5, and I just feel so much better. So we don't need to discount exercise, right? But yeah, if you're trying to lose weight, diet is the most important part. If you're too big to exercise or it hurts to exercise, just focus on losing weight via diet first. That's the best way to approach it. And then when you get down to a weight where you can move around and be physical without hurting yourself, then reintroduce the exercise. So yeah, this product, yeah, of course, or this company, of course, they're pushing their product. Yeah, it looks good. Let's look at them. I've never even looked at these. Ribeye, huh? We took your favorite thick, juicy. Oh, come on. Beautifully marbled cut of steak and made it portable. Well, yeah, you just pack it in salt. That's all you do. Looks like that's what all of these are, is maybe jerkies. I think they're mostly, you can see it from the picture here. It looks, that's salted pork or salted ham. That's all that is. So yeah, if you're looking into the carnivore diet, guys, it's done great things for my health and my fitness journey. It's definitely worth a look. But I've started reintroducing fruits now. Like I said, my body weight's so low I can eat whatever I want now. But it takes time to get to that point. I had a peanut butter and banana sandwich today. So I don't call them cheat meals, but I do occasionally have things that aren't allowed on the diet. But that's because my body weight has got so low. And yeah, peanut butter could possibly be bad for you, but there's no way that a banana is bad for you. Bread is really bad for you. I have it like once a month or once every other month or so. In the beginning, I was very strict. When I first started this diet, I was super strict. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. This will end up on YouTube. If you're sitting on the fence as to whether you might want to try carnivore or not, I say go for it. It's done great things for me, and can't guarantee it'll do great things for you, but it can't hurt. Just don't drive meat prices up in my area. I need my meat. Anyways, thanks for tuning in, guys. Catch you later. I don't know what I'm gonna do next. I've never done video editing, and I guess to put this on YouTube I need to do some video editing, so got a learning curve tonight. But thanks for dropping in, guys. This is my first time in the health and fitness genre on Twitch, but if you catch some of my other live streams, sometimes I do them shirtless. Like I covered an MMA match last night. It was a really good fight, and I did that shirtless. And most people don't know there's a whole tag on Twitch for shirtless streamers. There are other people who do it. And, you know, if you asked me to do that 9 months ago, I wouldn't have done it because my body looked like crap. You know, carnivore's what got me there. So now I'm comfortable being in less clothes around people, whereas before I was a little chunky. I wasn't bad out of shape because I did a whole career in the military, but I was a little thick. Anyways, I don't know. I'll probably cover drama and politics or something next. But anyways, I don't know anything about these carnivore snacks, guys, but this looks good. I'll catch you on the next one. I hope this helps somebody. This diet's really helped me. I'll see you guys later. Peace.